As Senator Barack Obama continues his campaign for President of the United States, there are many people who will claim to be his close buddy or great friend or close associate. Some will do so for reasons that are true and honorable. Others will do so for reasons that are sinister. One of those people is a man by the name of Steve Donziger. Now, who is Steve Donziger? He is a United States lawyer who is at the center of a class action lawsuit against Chevron and on behalf of Ecuadorians, or so he says. For those who've read blogs on our network, Zinni Zeitgeist and Oakland Focus, you know the truth by reading Robin Belker's work. That is that Ecuador was responsible for the oil spills that Ecuador and Steve Donziger claim are the responsibility of Chevron. Now, we've discovered that Donziger is also being assisted and quite possibly paid for by Ecuador itself. And so I say to you, Senator Obama, watch out for this guy, because he claims to have raised between $40,000 and $50,000 on your behalf. He has definitely contributed $2,300 to your campaign thus far, and is also credited with having met with you before you ran for president, and showed you evidence that Chevron was responsible for the oil spills which have caused, or allegedly caused, health problems in Ecuador. There's no question that these oil spills have been terrible, but the organization that was responsible for the production of petroleum in that area was not Chevron, but a consortium called TexPet, which was managed and operated by Ecuador. The simple fact of the matter is that Ecuador and the country of Ecuador does not want to pay for its own mess and is trying to engineer a way to get Chevron to do it beyond what Chevron and Texaco have contributed thus far. Now, Donziger has went so far as to allow himself to have studies prepared for by and paid for by Ecuador, which identify the 621 spill sites that they claim are the responsibility of Chevron, but really are documentedly the responsibility of Ecuador, to the number of 3.2 million barrels of oil spilled. Senator Obama, be careful of this guy, because he is going to again try to draw you into this situation and say that you are, quote, on his side, when in point of fact, the side that you should be on is the side of the United States of America as an interested party in a matter that is really the responsibility of the Ecuadorian government and its courts to straighten out. When all is said and done, Ecuador should be paying for its own mess, not Chevron or the United States. Thus far, since your initial meeting before you declared that you were going to run for president, you've done a good job of keeping a distance physically from Mr. Donziger. I would suggest that you continue to do so, within reason, of course, because, well, you have a relationship. But be careful not to allow yourself to be used by this guy in the matter of this issue, because he is on the side of a organization that has spilled oil in its own country that does not want to pay for its own mess. That is Ecuador, and that is the country of Ecuador.